It's okay. She'll be back. Hi, everyone. And we have a Kelly. Anyway, I need to adjust the cameras real quick.
What?
To make sure that everyone is centered in their space. Yeah, a tiny bit of a technical difficulty while we were doing the intro, but we are here, and we are not muted. And I am Simon at Wandering DM. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Thirsty Thursday, as this is probably going to be known. We are playing Dragon Age in a campaign called The Search for Enders. I am today playing Harol, a elven escaped slave from Tevinter who became a Grey Warden. Before we introduce our cast of wonderful characters in GM, I would just like to take a moment to thank our sponsors. Our first sponsor this week is, of course, Mage Hand Press, the makers of 5th edition D&D supplements. You can check them out at store.magehandpress.com. You can use code WanderingDM to get 15% off anything you purchase, including the hardcover book, Dark Matter, if you like to play fantasy in space, sci-fi fantasy. It's awesome. We've played about a year-long campaign here on the channel, and we loved every moment of it. Our next sponsor, of course, is Found Familiar, because who here drinks coffee like crazy, if not myself? So check them out at foundfamiliar.com, and you can use code WanderingDM to get 10% off. And if you order for $50 or more, you get free shipping if you live in the continental United States. And lastly, our last partners through the Diceomancy program is, of course, Level Up Dice. If you want to get your hands on some shiny fancy dice, check out Level Up Dice either through the purple torch down below or the link in chat. You can get dice made out of stone, semi-precious stone, or metals. They are all awesome, and they have a few new sets that came out recently that you should absolutely go and check out. So that's it. I'll leave the mic to the rest of the crew. We'll do, as usual, clockwise around the overlay, finishing with our great GM Tanya so that she can take us away to the world of Thedas. So let's begin with Deirdre. Hi, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. I love Thursdays. I love playing with you all, and I can't wait. I play Verisa, one of the two Dalish elves, but she's the sneaky, stabby bitch. It's fun.
Next up is I was going to call you by your character name.
That works too.
Andrew.
Hi, everyone. I'm Andrew. I'm playing Bastien, a Ferelden warrior. Having a great time being here. Looking forward to what shenaniganery we're going to get up to today. I'm really loving that word. And yeah, welcome and enjoy.
Thanks. Next up, Kelly.
Hi. I'm Kelly. I'm playing Mavia, who's not thirsty at all, thank you very much. Except for alcohol and friends, because she has no friends. She wants a friend. And I'm making it canon that Iron Bull liked one of the hair decorations so much that it's just hanging off his horn now. Permanently. That's how it goes.
Cool. And last but not least amongst our players, Huinho.
Hi everybody, I'm Okenyo, also known as DM Jazzy Hands. Tonight I am playing Zalanas, the other Dalish elf, mage and keeper of his clan of two, and beginning to have a little too much fun adventuring and using magic and doing battles with demons instead of being a very serious keeper for his clan. But fuck it, it's a whole new day for him and Verisa, so we'll see how it goes.
And our illustrious GM for this game, the person that we keep putting through so much as we adventure through Thedas, Tanya, welcome.
Hello. I don't know about putting me through stuff. It's just always interesting to see, this is what I planned, this is what happened, and here's where the rest of the story went for that evening. As anyone who's ever GM knows, that is prone to happen. I am playing all your NPCs, so that is most of our canon Dragon Age characters, including Fenris as the Inquisitor. So if you're new to the show, we are in the midpoint of our planned season, And if you're familiar with Dragon Age, Fenris is our Inquisitor. So let's see what shenaniganry he can get up to leading all of Thetis. And with that in mind, tell the folks what happened to you all last week before we jump into this week's shenaniganry.
Speaking of, while someone else than me does the recap, there will be a giant Fenris that shows up on screen.
Yes.
I'm going to resize him properly. But thank you to Flying Cirrus, who's in chat right now. Thank you so much, Shauna, for all the wonderful portraits that you've created.
I love
for
my
this game.
portrait.
I know, when I saw it, I think I all caps Kelly possessed me for a moment.
I have to like figure out how to do that braid and like it's just so cute. She's so cute. Okay.
She is. All right. But it started with combat. So what
Fenris
happened?
is so big.
He is. Oh Jesus. Hi Fenris. How you doing?
I know, right?
Hello, Fenris. So it did start with
him.
combat. We in a cliffhanger to end all cliffhangers, ended the week before with a rift into the Fade opening up right behind our little traveling group as we were on our way to after we'd sort of gotten to Crestwood and met the mayor of Crestwood. So the rift opened up and we had to help kill the demons that came out of it, so that Inquisitor Fenris could reclose it. So Varese shot some arrows, Harrell and Mavia and Bastion stabbed some things. Bull got real messed up emotionally and physically during the fight. I shot some magic and some healing, and we managed to.
And Blackwall whiffed.
And Blackwall whiffed.
Blackwall whiffed real hard.
He
on
sure did.
everything.
Which, fake warden. So what are you gonna do? So the rift closed, and then we were sort of left in the aftermath. Someone else can pick up the thread.
No, okay. I mean, I don't have anything to add except that I turned Iron Bull into a Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
But you
Oh,
were
yes.
there for Bull. That's what mattered.
Yes, you were.
Yes, I decided to feed an entire family with food I stole, and then took out all my hair ornaments and started hanging them off of Iron Bull's horns because that seemed really important to do at the moment, but I'm not sure why.
And
figure it
in the
out.
meantime, Bastion had a conversation with the mayor about a warden who had come through. Logain apparently passed through town and is somewhere nearby. I'm a little vague on terminology, and it just is curious. We haven't seen or heard from him, I think, in a long time, Harrell. And that, and also the rifts are kind of just all in kind of one area of town more than anything else, and kind of being annoying.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Andrew.
Yeah,
Did you make a Twitter?
I did.
Oh, fancy.
I was saving that for the end, but
Too late. I am
Wow.
Kelly, ruiner of surprises.
So I did succumb to the Twitterverse, everybody. I've converted. And so my Twitter is at Anderful1. It rhymes with wonderful one. There's a very good reason for that. And yeah, ANDERFL1. And that's where you'll find me on Twitter, and
Oh.
updating little things here and there, some of my things going on in life and other randomness.
I mean, that's Twitter, so.
Yeah. I'll fit right in,
I post
think.
pictures of my dog's bad hair days. So,
Oh.
I mean,
But that's what we need in these trying times, as every email I've gotten in the last month has said. Harold had an interesting evening.
Yes, I actually went and spent some time quietly with Fenris, and we got to talking about our past, our feelings, how Tevinter changed us, how how Harold was back in Tevinter. It was all very sad and touching. and it ended with a big flourishy bow as I left his room to go back and join the party for the rest of the evening.
Yes, and you had a very touching and serious, very feels-filled convo. And question for you all: would you like to pick up wrapping up the evening or first thing in the morning?
I mean, I think the morning is probably good unless Harold's got some details he needs to work out.
I mean, I was thinking morning, but I'm just checking to make sure there's nothing you got up to in the evening.
I'm good for morning.
Okay.
I mean, Harold is not the type of person to sleep on the first day of adventure. He normally takes at least 3 days to get to know the person. So,
Person singular or person plural?
yes.
We're an adventuring group, I believe.
You can leave me right out of this.
We've been playing for 5 minutes. This is amazing.
So in the morning.
Yes.
So
Wait, does Zalanis do his magic dance and fall over again for everyone to see?
No, maybe. No, I don't think so. I think he sort of, I mean, he's still maybe prone to dancing, but I think he sort of got that little moment of freedom out of his system.
nice.
For now, anyway.
All right. Now that everyone's got their dancing out of their system and everything else, the scene we're starting with is it's the next morning. It's not super early. I mean, you did fight some Fade monsters and some demons. So everyone's sleeping in a little bit. And we're going to start with Fenris and Harold, mostly because Harold is going to have a chance to see Fenris as unguarded as anyone except maybe Hawk and a few select people have seen him. He is on the side of the bed facing the door, and you would think with the lives that you've had, he would be a much heavier sleeper. He is out. He is out for the count. He is like face down, hugging the pillow, not snoring, but he's conked out. He didn't wake up when you came back in the room, and he's down to whatever he can sleep in comfortably, but not naked. And even if you're moving around or doing anything, he's probably not going to wake up. So what are you up to, Harold?
I know that we have a lot to do, but Harold is going to just sit up on the bed and just look a bit at Fenris sleeping, wondering if he should wake him up or if he should let him sleep a bit more. Harold thinks that, being the Inquisitor, Fenris probably doesn't get as much sleep as he should have, considering everything that happened.
Are you touching him at all? Like, if you decide to, like, and not in a weird way, not in a creepy, like cataloging him way, but in a, this is probably the only chance I may get for a while to, like, just see him this unguarded.
Because he's unguarded, Harold would not touch him.
Okay. Surprisingly, even though he is like out to the world, he opens his eyes and maybe like an hour later and turns over and is surprised to like see you, because for whatever reason thought maybe you would get up, get breakfast, what have you. And he doesn't, I guess, react in a way that you expect. It's like, oh, you caught me sleeping, or you're next to me and I'm not freaked out. But he just kind of rolls over and stares at you and is like, hey, morning. Or is it still morning?
It's, Fenris, you've been asleep for 3 whole days. Everyone's gone to find Enders. They left me behind to let you know that they're gonna take care of it. You can stay.
And he sits straight up and stares at you like,
I think Harold is having a hard time trying to stifle a laugh.
I know, but like, and Fenris realizes this when and he like just grabs a pillow and just smacks you right in the face. Like, you bastard.
Is this how it's gonna be then? And I'll take
Well,
another pillow and I'll hit him back.
You're starting a pillow fight.
We're
or
starting a
keeping
pillow fight.
All right, I'm gonna make you roll for that.
That shit.
You started it.
No, technically he started it.
Eh. Just checking one of his stats. It's not gonna be a hard roll. Just roll against your strength.
So it's what? It's like a D6 per strength point?
Yes.
Okay.
It took me a minute.
Yeah, no problem. That would be a 19 total.
Oh boy, you actually beat him. Mostly because I rolled really crappy. You managed to smack him hard enough to like make him tumble off the bed because he's like on the edge of the bed. He's sitting there like, what's happening? Like, he's just very confused. Because granted, he just woke up. And he thought he would like smack you and that would be the end of it for being sassy. And now he's like, I'm on the floor. How did this happen? And that kind of, do I get up and keep this going, or do I just sit on the floor and just let it go?
No, I think Harold would come up to him and help him get back up. And get really close to him as Fenris gets up. Like,
When you say really close, how close?
by the time he's up, nose is almost touching.
Okay.
Hey, looks like this time I'm the one who did the spanking. I mean hitting.
You're really cruising for that spanking, aren't you?
I mean, I like to get physical. You know what? I think I should go. I think I should get dressed.
No, you started this.
And what? You're gonna end it?
And with that, he like, I don't know. So this is a little bit out of character. I'm not sure if Fenris would like start the pillow fight again or just like shove you on the bed and try to tickle you. Because he does have a playful side.
I think either or I'm fine with.
He just gives you like this playful smirk and then just shoves you back on the bed and like pins you down. And not like, and if he senses you're not okay with it or you don't feel playful, he will let you go immediately.
Oh yeah. No,
He's
Harold
like-
Harold is here for it.
So he's holding you just enough where it's like if you squirmed at all or anything, you'd immediately let go.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, are you still ticklish?
I mean, dark spawns aren't particularly want to tickle people. I haven't had anyone try to tickle me as I like try to dodge his hand.
He's like, well, I really hope you wouldn't let a darkspawn try to tickle you.
I mean, you don't know. It gets lonely on the road.
He just smiles. He's like, well, it's lonely being the Inquisitor. And he like reaches to try to like tickle your ribs to see if he can like get you somehow. And again, he's being very careful and making sure that you seem to be okay with this ridiculousness first thing in the morning.
Oh, yeah. Harold is, like I said, he's all for it. This is like a dream come true.
Oh god.
This is like years of not really like remembering all the feelings he had for Fenris before,
Mhm.
and then them coming back.
Okay. All right. So he is trying to tickle you. Does he succeed? Or is Harold ticklish?
I will roll a d6.
Okay.
On a 1-2, extremely. On a
Okay.
3-4, yeah. On a 5-6, he's not, because he's a sad boy and sad boys don't laugh.
Oh no.
No, I'm just regular ticklish.
Okay. So that just makes him more determined. And he tries tickling like your other side to see if he gets a reaction. Excuse me. And if you want to either roll a d6 again or just role play out how this ridiculous start to your morning is going, and do you all make enough noise for the others to hear you? I see you, Verisa.
Yeah, no, I assume that Verisa is like eavesdropping through the
The vent.
I'm thinking despite our best effort not to, like, this is just a small Crestwood Inn, so the bed probably creaks and makes a lot of noise.
Oh my god, I just had that. Wow, okay. So, someone hearing this outside the room may get the wrong impression, is what you're saying?
I just said that the bed was creaking. If they
Okay.
want to think what they want to think, that's up to their perverted minds.
True. So this is going to go on for a little bit. Question for the others: do any of you hear this? This squeaky bed?
I mean, Verisa's probably up because she's paranoid and doesn't trust being in the human hotel inn. Doesn't trust it. It's kind of concerned. I mean, she probably would. I mean, I can roll for it if you want me to.
You know what? You're the sneaky stabby. So in your case, it's a small inn. I'm not going to make you roll for it. I want you all to role play this out. So just let me know who hears this, and is anyone brave or foolish enough to bust in the room or to try to make some assumptions about what's going on.
I mean, I'll make a quick little perception check to see if, because I don't know that I would be listening for it, but if it's that loud.
Okay.
That's only a 10.
So you might hear noises, but not know
Yeah.
which room it's coming from.
It's a
It
public
is an
inn.
inn.
Yeah, exactly. Just meditating. I see that Verisa is oh, how do we describe what Verisa is? Curious about something. Let's just stick with that for now. But I mean, she's always curious with something, so I'll continue my morning ablutions and meditations.
You might notice like Verisa is like sharpening one of her blades and then just pauses, raises an eyebrow, smirks and looks back at you, snorts, and then goes back to
What's everyone else doing?
Looking at a file called dildo.png that someone sent in the Zoom
Shut
chat.
up! I was
Wait, to be fair,
favorite.
he didn't say that Kelly sent. You just outed yourself.
I was like, oh my god. Well,
It's a joke. Oh my god. There's no. I quit.
There's no.
I'm
there's
leaving
no.
your channel and I'm never coming back.
well, it's been a nice run. Thanks everybody for coming.
Do we get to jointly run Mavia?
Oh wow.
Don't touch my player character.
I'm afraid of what would happen if any of you did try to play as Mavia. I'm scared. All right, back in the moment.
See, Simon, this is why I shouldn't have sent it to you, even though you told me I should.
No, you sent it, and I had a laugh. I had a.
So we've gone off the rails in the first half hour. We're doing great. I mean,
I
this is
didn't
for
do
us.
anything in the game.
I know. I'm just having fun with this because it's hilarious. We have broken the fourth wall in record time this week. So, Mavia, are you ignoring this? Are you still asleep? What are you doing? Are you hanging out with Bull?
I can't decide, honestly, if Mavia is a morning person, like all good morning kind of person, or we dance the whole night through, good morning. But like, or if she's one of those, I don't wake up before noon for less than $10,000 kind of people. But I have a feeling if there was bacon, she would probably wake up.
I was just about to say she likes bacon so much that I feel like we could get her up if we need to.
I don't know where she slept. Like in what room she slept.
You all got, you know, because it's the Inquisitor, the innkeeper was very generous, and you all had your own rooms.
Oh, really? We had the option, Harold.
Well, unless Marisa and Mavia wanted to have slept in the same room or share.
Nope.
Oh, okay.
Well, I
It's
do
a
not
really
trust
nice
her.
person.
Wow.
Okay, that's fair.
I
That's
do
fair.
not- I do not
That's
trust
fair.
her.
I don't think Bree actually slept in a room though, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I think it would depend. I think somebody would probably have to come get Mavia.
Okay.
I don't think she would just pop out of there on her own.
Okay. What about you, Bastian?
I think the noise would. Bastion is not really a morning ever, regardless of the time of day. So normally a grumpy waker, and the noise would have woken him up, kind of like, ugh, God damn the world. And he would have likely gotten up, walked like to the kitchen or wherever he could get something to eat, and he would have just ordered up breakfast and just coffee, bacon, eggs.
Okay.
I think
Does coffee exist in Dragon Age?
Oh, damn well better.
Yeah, there's coffee.
Okay.
Thank you.
I think Verisa, after she's like finished checking her gear and stowing her gear, would go. And it's probably been like 15, 20 minutes of whatever Fenris and Harold are doing. And she'd be like, okay. And just go and knock very loudly on the door.
So
Repeatedly.
what does Harold do?
Stop, obviously. Stand up. Who is it?
Very sorry to interrupt your fun, but you know, breakfast.
Oh, yes, the mission.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, did you know that if you roll around a lot while you sleep, you tend to make the bed creak?
I'm sure that's a very justifiable explanation for what everybody in this building just heard.
I have
Fenris.
nightmares.
I'm sure everyone has nightmares. The laughing and the giggling kind of offset it. You know, might want to work on that a little bit better if you're going to lie. Just throwing it out there.
Fenris, meanwhile, is trying so hard not to laugh right now because whatever shenaniganry you two have gotten up to, it's like he woke up on the silly side of the bed for once. And he won't admit it to the others, but he is actually enjoying being out and about and feeling like he's with friends. You know, because at least with Harold, he doesn't know the rest of you that well. But he is, or maybe it's just he's having a moment of like, I can't believe where my life has led me. Why am I here now? But I'm gonna roll with it. But he finally like gets up. And he just actually just wanders past Harold and opens the door and leans out. He's like, look, it's early. Let us get dressed and we'll come get breakfast. Just go somewhere. You're annoying.
Yeah.
No, I think he was talking about me being annoying. I'm quite sure he doesn't find you annoying. But sure. Did you want me to save you coffee or?
Yes,
nah, you
coffee.
Can get
Coffee would be
all right.
appreciated.
Fine. Hey, Zalanis! They're trying to say it was just nightmares as she walks down the hall.
Oh my god, he's gonna stab Barisa before this is out. So Fenris shuts the door and he looks at Harold. He was like, "Are your friends always like this?"
I have known them for as long as you have.
All right.
I
I
mean,
should have it.
maybe?
All right. Marisa may need to be reminded, just because we're both elves, that there's a level of familiarity I don't let everyone have. And he kind of gets washed up and dressed, and you feel almost, or you see him basically turn back into the Inquisitor as he's getting ready. Are you getting ready as well? Are you talking while he's getting ready?
I don't think I'm talking. I think that the realization that in the moment we made so much noise that it bothered everyone. Like, there's a bit of shame. So Harold is just going to get dressed. Like, he didn't think about the others while this was happening. And, you know, back when in Tevinter, you know, attracting attention, unwanted attention, was not something you would want to do. And that's what just happened.
Very true. Well, Fenris is quiet as well, and he lets you go first, you know, like make sure he has all his stuff. And he comes in and sits down with everyone else at the table. And he's kind of grumpy until a flagon of coffee is slid in front of him.
I would like to be served coffee in a flagon every morning. That's about the size of coffee that I need. My dog agrees.
I'm sure my cat will agree at some point as well. So you all are eating. Are you all bantering, checking in with each other? What is the morning bringing to the group now that you're all sitting together? Blackwall's still sulking. He's at the other end of the table, kind of eating and grumbling and giving Harold dirty looks when he can.
Did I hear Barisa say that someone was having bad dreams? We have rituals that can help you address that if that's an issue that we need to. We certainly want everyone to get a good night's rest.
Harold seems to be having that problem.
Harold, I will prepare an elven traditional tincture for you to have before bed. Hopefully, it will clear the less benevolent spirits that are affecting our mind from the fade when you sleep.
Harold is stuffing so much food in his mouth right now. Just trying not to look at Zalanis. And, oh, thank you.
Oh no. Fenris is entirely unbothered. He is just having coffee and he's being a little quiet from what you all would expect out of him. Bull is very quiet. He is sitting across from Mavia, and
Mavia's not there yet.
Oh, that's right. Does anyone want to be kind enough to go get Mavia when you realize, hey, our dwarven companion that loves bacon is not at the table?
Bastion is gonna grab a plate of bacon. Just you know, go down the hall to the door and knock on the door. And Mavia, are you decent?
You would hear kind of scrambling, and maybe it would come, fling the door open, and grab the bacon. Very, very quickly, because she smelled the bacon.
I see you're a morning person. Good on that.
What? I'm a bacon person.
Yeah.
Good morning.
What
time is it? Are we leaving yet? Did everybody leave yet? Where is everybody?
Everyone's getting up. They're all having breakfast. You want to join us?
Is there more bacon?
Lots.
Okay. And she'll kind of turn around and walk over to get her bag and, come back around to head out the door.
Yeah. Bastian, are you taking the opportunity to kind of peep into the room while she's getting ready, or are you being a gentleman and staying out in the hall?
I'm definitely being the gentleman and staying in the hall.
Okay. All right. So you have lured Mavia out with bacon. I mean, it will work on me, I'm not gonna lie.
To be fair, it also works on me. It's not, it's bacon.
So confirmed, we can lure Kelly places with bacon and me. Wait, we shouldn't have told you that.
Yep.
So now everyone's really at breakfast. Bull has left a spot for Mavia because he remembers the kindness she did for him the night before, trying to talk to him.
What color of hairpiece did he keep for his horn? Because she had green ones and blue ones and silver ones and gold ones.
Let me roll a date.
Little hair ornament to come off of this horn.
You said there were purple ones?
No, there's green, blue, silver, and gold.
He kept a blue one.
Okay.
So yeah, he kept a blue one, and he's uncharacteristically quiet. Bull normally would be the one to be telling loud, inappropriate stories no matter the time of day. And Fenris has noticed he'll talk to him when they get back. So now that the party is all together, Blackwall is sulking, Bull is quiet and enjoying breakfast, and what are the rest of you doing now that you are all together finally?
Mavia is shoving as much food into her face as is possible.
Mm-hmm.
And if anybody is looking, actually, I'm going to let you decide if anybody is looking.
Looking at Mavia?
Mm-hmm.
Fenris is pretty focused on his coffee and Blackwall's busy sulking. So I will leave it up to the others to see if you notice and or say anything about maybe making sure she's eating, and if you look hard enough you may put two and two together about what she's doing with food. That is a clue you will get.
I mean, I think Harold would have looked at her as she entered the room, but
Okay.
wouldn't have stared at her eating.
Right.
It's just we're all eating. Oh, hi, good morning. You just came in. But yeah.
I mean, Varese is just vigilant on everything because of where they are right now. I can roll for it if you want me to.
Sure, roll for it and I'll tell you how much you notice.
6,
Jesus.
9, 13.
You notice that Mavia seems to have way more food than she should be able to eat that quickly, but you're not quite sure if she is making another plate, maybe that family's around. But you just notice the amount of food that Mavia's grabbed doesn't equal what should be on her plate, even as fast as she's eating.
By volume, it shouldn't actually fit, is basically what we're saying.
Right.
She's just going to take a glance at her plate and then just not mention anything.
Okay.
It's she's Varisa's been some places. She doesn't judge.
She also starts eating bacon off Bull's plate.
Oh. And Bull doesn't say anything. He just scrapes bacon onto your plate and lets you have it.
Oh man, something is wrong.
I mean,
come on. Now I really want bacon. Extra crispy bacon is one of the best.
Yeah, but Bull did suffer both physical and psychic damage from the demon, so he is not the jovial fellow that we normally know and love.
He doesn't want to ride anything today.
No, he doesn't at all.
when we were on our way into Crestwood, I don't remember who said it, but one of our number mentioned that Crestwood was different than the last time they passed through.
It
can't
may
remember.
have been Fenris, because he would have been the only one that would have
Okay.
known
it. Well, that's an easier question than starting to pepper him with questions about what happened yesterday. So, assuming that he doesn't look like he's ready to kill whoever addresses him first, I'll just start the conversation with, now that we're here, we should probably begin attempting to ascertain whether or not this Anders fellow was in fact seen nearby here and where he has gone. Fenris, you mentioned coming through here before and that something about this place was different. What did you mean? Should we be concerned?
Well, he looks up and he's not ready to murder you because he's had coffee.
Great. I waited the appropriate amount of time.
Yes. It's like it wasn't as gloomy, I guess is the word. It's it's not a big city like the ones that I've come through. It's not a city like Kirkwall or Minrathous, but it's still not usually this devoid of people and people in the street or just going to and from the market.
Might it perhaps have been the Fade Rifts? Have they experienced many? Could that explain your feeling, or do you feel it's something more than that?
It's probably the Fade Rifts, but even before, when we were passing through with rifts opening everywhere, there are people still going about their daily lives, still going to the market they had to, or going out to send fishing boats. This just feels very subdued to what we experienced before.
Well, perhaps we keep a little extra on our guard. And he sort of gives a look to Verisa as if to say, God, not anymore from you, though. And then it sounds like maybe two birds with one question. We maybe should speak a bit more with the mayor that we met yesterday. Maybe he can explain the difference in atmosphere and also tell us what he may know about Anders.
Well, we should be able to find him. He made it painfully obvious that he wanted to assist however he could, to the point where I had to shoo him away when I was finally ready to go to sleep. But that can wait until we're all mustered and fed and everyone's fully awake. He kind of like rubs his head, but he's not grumpy with you. He's just in that still not 100% awake.
Sure.
So he sits back and he looks at you. He's like, "You remind me of Anders a little bit, actually."
In what way?
You're curious, and you have a lot of questions about the Fade and about magic.
Well, perhaps the difference between the two of us is that I would like to think that with others that are important to me and who I want to protect, I will know where to draw the line between questions and curiosity and dangerous experimentation and actions.
Well, you don't seem the sort to try to cut someone open and pour lyrium in their flesh, so I think we're safe there. But
you keep an eye on me, though. You let me know if I should be concerned. Half jokingly, I say. 3/4 joking.
So better just like he gives you that lifted eyebrow, like okay. Hi, Scotty.
Hello. Hello.
We heard her Mabari.
Hello.
Now playing the role of the Mabari is Scotty.
Yes.
Which is hilarious, just considering that this dog is 8.5 inches tall and weighs 9 pounds.
Oh, he's a Mabari in training.
He's super
That's
tired.
right.
Plus, he just heard PJ start making dinner, which is why he is looking in the vaguely microwave direction.
Oh. We have a Mabari break every so often. Um, yeah, but Fenris gives you, he like arches an eyebrow. He's like, you wanted to ask me a bunch of questions yesterday, didn't you?
I did. But with the wisdom that comes with a good night's sleep, I recognized that they would be difficult questions to answer, and that perhaps I should wait for you to be ready to have that conversation.
Well, you might as well ask me now before we start wandering about the town and looking around and then heading back to Skyhold.
Yes, well, in that case, so tell me, what does it feel like when you do that?
That?
When you close the rifts like you did?
He gets like the most devious look in his eyes and he leans over. He's like, come here. He gets right near. He's like, it fucking hurts.
Oh, fair enough. Let's start from a different angle. Where do they come from? Why are the rifts
And where do
opening?
they go?
And where do they
Sorry.
go? I'm so mad at you. I almost got through it. Where? What causes the rifts to appear in the first place? It's crossing into the Fade should be the purview of powerful and perhaps somewhat insane mages, but just to open of their own volition, or is something on the other side? There are so many possibilities.
He actually holds the hand up that's marked and pulls the glove off that he keeps on to cover the mark. And he just looks at you for a minute and he's like, you see the green thing in the sky that matches this mark?
I did, yes. It was hard to miss.
That's where they come from. And hopefully it's where we're sending them when we close rifts. So we don't know exactly why this rift opened. I really don't know where this mark in my hand came from yet. And all I know is the people of Thetis seem to think that I've been chosen by Andraste, that those that believe in the Maker and Andraste and all that chantry nonsense seem to think I was chosen to save them from this thing in the sky, and we both know that it's bullshit.
Well, yes, of course it is. Chosen or not, though, it does seem that you are the one to save, and sort of gestures to Cresswood, at least some of them.
I mean, as long as I'm the only one that can close the rifts when they pop up, or we tried something that somewhat sealed the sky, but there's still these rifts popping up everywhere.
I know that you have an understandable aversion to magic, but have you ever tried to do anything else with it? I mean, obviously it has a very useful purpose, but can you do anything else with it? Not that you would ever have reason to try, but for example, do you feel that maybe you could use it in reverse? Could you open a rift?
I haven't tried that yet. I might be able to. Not sure why I would, but I might be able to.
Obviously, it would be a very dangerous prospect, but maybe when you would be able to control the situation, it might be worth experimenting. It might be, well, either useful or at the very least, maybe open up some new avenues of understanding for you about this mark that you that you were chosen to have.
I've had enough of being chosen for all kinds of markings in my lifetime.
I sort of reach up to where my tattoo will eventually have to be somewhat expanded when the keeper thing becomes a bit more official.
Yeah.
And I say, well, I can relate to that in a very small way.
He just shakes his head and he's like, you chose the Velasline.
I chose this mark, yes, and I knew that I would ascend to keeper, just not in this way.
So then you don't understand at all.
Fair enough.
So Fenris is he just gives you not a dirty look, but he's kind of like, you're one of those elves, aren't you? He doesn't say it, but he's thinking it.
Yeah. Well, probably yes. The answer, but
and he looks down the table and checks in with everyone. It's like, Mavia, Bastian, Verisa. How are the rest of you doing? Are you ready to help me look around town in a little bit?
I am a great investigator. I am top notch if you tell me what you're looking for.
Well, in this case, we're looking for signs of both Loghain and Anders. And once we find the mayor, hopefully he can be of some use, more than he was last night.
Would they have left a business card? She has no idea who Loghain or Anders is.
Right, but the face was for business card. It's like...
I didn't know what else to use.
I know, but he's just like, paper's expensive and not everyone can read and write. He just goes...
I don't know if Varric told him that I am the wrong person for this job or not, but...
Not yet. That has not yet been discussed. But there'll be a chance to go back to Skyhold eventually. He just like makes a face. He's like, I don't know. He's like, that must be some dwarven invention. Business cards.
Do they look unique? What should I be asking for? I would like to help you.
Well, there are wanted posters of Anders everywhere. Eventually we'll find one and I can give it to you.
Thank you.
Loghain would be wearing the same armor as Harold. Maybe a little bit more fancy because he's been a warden longer. But tall, from what I remember from history, is tall, black hair, probably a little gray now at this point. Usually has a bow and a short sword on his back. Gruff voice. That's all I can remember.
So we're now looking for 2 people because we were originally looking for 1 person.
Well, if we find Loghain, maybe it'll lead us to Anders.
Okay.
Especially if Loghain wanted to get after Anders for some reason.
Yes.
Out of character, Tanya, would I have anything more to add to the description of Loghain, since I probably am the one that saw him last?
I mean, yeah, you could give a better description because Fenris is literally going off what he would have heard through either descriptions or conversations about Loghain from people around him, or maybe if Hawk and the champion had ever interacted. But he's never met him, doesn't know what he accurately looks like, just knows he's tall and dark-haired and an archer.
Okay.
Go for it.
I'm gonna rack my brain for a second, meaning I'm gonna go get a picture of Teyrn Loghain.
It should be on his character sheet that you can't see.
It's okay, I got a picture here.
Okay.
He wears his hair with 2 short braids on both sides of his face. He hasn't changed that in a while, but his hair did go from the black it used to be to more salt and pepper. He's got a big flat nose, like someone was punched in the face once too often when they were a child.
Did you get punched in the face often as a child, Carol?
Is something wrong with my nose?
No, I mean, you're the one that said that okay.
Oh, but yes, I did get punched in the face a lot when I was a child.
You know, if you duck, it helps.
Then you get the knee.
Yes. But your face stays pretty.
No, I meant knee in the face. Anyway, he holds himself high, like you know when someone's born to rule or something, they have like this countenance. He seems to, he walks with a purpose, even though, well, now that I know the story, even though he didn't actually get what he wanted, which is not a bad thing, I think. As he tends to keep well shaved, and kind of from this picture, kind of looks like Willem Dafoe.
Okay.
That is terrifying.
I was alternating between like the picture of him from the first Dragon Age and the last Dragon Age, so it's,
There's a difference. There's a huge
Yeah.
difference.
he went from low def to 4K.
Yes. So Fenris just nods. He's like, yeah, if we can find him in this warden way station that's supposedly in town, that will make our lives a lot easier. He looks down at Bastian and Verisa and wonders like what they're doing, because he noticed that Bull is quiet and he's going to leave him alone, and he is really upset and unhappy with Blackwall. But that's not for when they are out in public in Crestwood. That's the wait till we get home, young man look he's giving him.
Mavia is no longer at the table, and you hear a voice at the bar going, "Have you seen a very strange man with a very flat nose? Like someone punched him. He's very punchable. Have you seen a man?"
Full disclosure, Logain is infinitely punchable. I support punching Logain often.
Oh my god.
He deserved being punched a shit ton more than he got.
I know, I'm just laughing because I could see Fenris just literally face palming at this.
The worst part is I'm not even sure that she stayed for the entire description of him.
She just ran off to the bar.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So yeah,
I think
Fenris is face palming like, oh my god, where did she come from?
I think Verisa turns to Fenris and says very, very deadpan, do we care if the town is, the warden is unharmed when we find him, or do you want him not bleeding?
He turns his head and looks at you. Well, first, let's find him. We don't know what shape he's in if the other wardens were looking for him. And I dare say that Harold may beat you to anything you desire to do to him first.
I don't desire to do anything to him. I'm just asking if you want me to hurt him before or after you talk to him.
Neither. I can still interrogate people very well.
All right, then.
If I am in need of swords and interrogation techniques, that's what Zevran is best at. So if we find Logain, he'll be taking a trip back to Skyhold with us. I'm sure there'll be plenty to fight on the way for your blades. Just calm down.
It's not about fighting, it's purely... Sometimes, if you wish me to find someone, I can do that. Very pragmatically. Sometimes they don't like being found. If you wish to have a conversation with them, I wish to know if I should restrain myself.
For now, restrain yourself, please.
Fine.
He has 2 blades, but they're not as nice as mine.
Bastion hearing Mavia at the bar is just gonna be like, oh god. and he's gonna turn and shout over to Mavia, like, Mavia, just get back here. He's a barkeep. He probably sees 100 of those.
There's 100 guys around here who braid their hair and have a punchable nose.
The punchable nose thing, just
I
Let-
mean,
let's-
it's the kind of distinct crossover.
yeah. Maybe why don't we go outside and see some of those people out there and see if they have any idea where there's a punchable person
Okay.
walking
And
around.
she just like, you just see this little kind of like auburn head bouncing out the door.
And
Oh my God.
Bastion is gonna follow Mavia just to kind of keep an eye.
Oh boy. All right. So Fenris is just kind of like, I should have slept in more. I should have definitely slept in more. Like, he doesn't say it, but the look on his face is like, why did I get out of bed? But as all this shenaniganry is going on, not an urchin, because that just sounds very Dickensian, but a young teen comes in waving a piece of parchment around and calling for the Lord High Inquisitor.
Oh, I'm gonna just slip a glance to Fenris at that title that I have been forbidden from ever using again.
Well, you're an elf that he is getting to know.
Fair.
1 second. I'm trying to multitask and I'm failing.
It's okay.
So Fenris raises his hand and waves the youth over. And, they were going to try to pull the usual, I've got a message for you, sir, but only if you give me money. And they take one look at him because he does not look amused at all. He flips him a silver. He gets the note and he's looking up. He's like, well, are you supposed to wait for an answer? And the child shakes their head no, and they run away palming this silver coin because probably the most money they've ever seen in their life. And as he opens it, it is a note that is a confession from the mayor. And that confession, once I open up all my notes, because guess who closed all the
Dun,
notes?
dun, dun.
Yes, because guess who closed all their extra tabs because,
You can imagine that with dramatic groundhog.
yes. So there's a note called the confession, and I will read it for you. Haha. It is from the mayor. Inquisitor, it was not Darkspawn that opened the dam and flooded Old Crestwood 10 years ago. I did in secret the night they attacked. The undead you have heard of are people I killed with my own hands. We've taken in refugees from the Blight. Many were ill. We'd moved the sick to the lower part of Crestwood, and the refugees into the caves to stop the disease from spreading. It didn't work. One confessed he'd seen Blight sickness before. It was always fatal. When the Darkspawn attacked, I knew the only way the village would survive is if the Blight sick drowned with the monsters. I cannot bear the sight of Old Crestwood now that the water is gone. I cannot stay. I'm sorry, Mayor Gregory Dedrick. So that is just out of character. That is verbatim from Inquisition, so that's why I had to play with the wording a little bit. And Fenris holds this note because he and the mayor had talked about Old Crestwood. He'd been told about these creatures, and that's part of what he wanted to do, was try to find them and see what was going on. He just puts it on the table and slides it down, and one of you could pick it up and read it if you want. But he is very, very unhappy to know that the mayor basically lied to his face and tried to curry favor so he probably wouldn't get his head chopped off.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just sitting there like drumming his fingers on the table like, what do I do now? He's like, well,
Can we?
yeah, please read it. If one of you wants to read it out loud or just pass the note.
She'll like take it and pass it to Zalanis, and then she'd just look at Fenris and say, can we believe on any of his intelligence then, if he lied to you about this?
I don't know, because the people are clearly too scared to to have told the truth about it. And now we have 3 people to find before we go back to Skyhold. We need to find the mayor and, if possible, Loghain before we go back.
Well, I'll go see if I can find Bastian and Mavia, and we'll start seeing if we can find, well, the mayor and Loghain. And she'd, like, pick her stuff up and kind of, like, nod at Fenris and look at Zalanis and not say anything, but just kind of look at him like, don't ask any more questions. But she doesn't say anything. She doesn't say anything, and she would walk out.
Okay.
Leaving Iron Bull and Harold with Fenris.
Yeah.
And Zalanis.
Yeah. So Fenris gets up and he whispers in Bull's ear. He's like, if you're okay to stay, I want you to find Old Crestwood and find us so we can look for what the mayor has done. I want him to pay for this. Not just for lying to us, but for the murder and atrocity he's committed. Are you up to it? And Bull just shakes his head. He's not feeling talkative, but he knows when he has work to do. So he actually tightens Mavia's hair ornament around his horn so he doesn't lose it. Gets up and grabs his stuff so he can go find a map and talk to some people in town. And Fenris gives Blackwall a filthy, filthy, filthy look. Like, I'm going to deal with you later. He's like, get your gear, meet us outside in about 10 minutes. And I and Harold are going to have a conversation when we get back to Skyhold. Especially if we find Loghain. All 3 of us will have a very interesting and illuminating conversation about the Wardens. And he goes to get ready. He's trusting Harold to get himself together and kind of round everyone up. Does anyone want to do anything before the party gathers to go to Old Crestwood and see what happens?
I don't recall telling anything to Fenris about Blackwall.
He thought out of character, I thought you had during your travel to Crestwood, but that's what the retcon is for.
No, the only thing that got said about Blackwall and the travel was Verisa in Elven told Zalanis to keep an eye on Blackwall because he's not a warden yet.
Okay. So we'll forget that whole thing I just said.
Oh, okay. No, it's because I thought for a moment that Fenris actually heard that, and
no, because you were really you had gone back, or rather, he stunned you with what he offered, and so it was just you, Blackwall, and Verisa at that moment. And I totally forgot that. So sorry,
okay.
y'all.
No problem.
I mean, if he speaks Elven, he may have overheard Verisa and Zalanis, but.
He does, but being from Tevinter and a city elf, he may not have a good grasp of it in the way 2 Dalish elves would. But we can chat about that during the break, which actually we're going to take right now. So both your cast and DM and those of you watching can go get some water, get a quick bio break, and when we come back, we will resume the search for not just Andrews apparently, but half of the cast. And
yeah.
So let's see what Crestwood holds for us after a short break.
All right. We'll be right back, everyone.
Hello, everybody. How are you? Hopefully, everyone had a good break. You got some water, you stretched, got meds, got food if you needed that. So we're going to actually start with a little bit of retcon because your DM forgot a fact from last couple episodes and thought that our Inquisitor remembered overheard a thing that he did not. So we're going to roll back a little bit to before they go out to Old Crestwood. Fenris, as Inquisitor, assigns Harrell and Blackwall to go get a map or find directions to the mayor's house, and to also find out if there's any rifts happening anywhere that they haven't seen aside from the one on the water you can see as you come into town. So Blackwall's not yet in trouble with the Inquisitor. So we're going to roll back and do that. And then everyone has done their tasks. You are in front of the Crestwood Inn. Harrell, have you and Blackwall found directions to the mayor's house? Because Fenris would like to have a word with the mayor, if nothing else.
I think that coming out of the inn, I would just snag the first person that I can see and just ask them,
okay,
where does the mayor live?
I think he's about this tall. His hair is very dark.
Oh my!
That's the other end of the street.
Oh my god!
So and Bastion is just there like a parent watching over a child, just like.
Oh my god! Fenris he's just standing there like, why me? Why? He like looks up the sky for a moment, like, of all the elves in Thedas, you had to give me this mark. Thanks. So Harold grabs someone, like a smith, as he's trying to go past. It's like the mayor's house. He lives like 8 doors down to the right. It's one of the biggest houses in this town. But things have been weird this morning. Everyone says they haven't seen the mayor. Normally he's the first one out in the street greeting people. Usually takes breakfast at the inn. We thought with the Lord Inquisitor here, he'd definitely be there, but no one's seen him this morning.
And that's the reason why we're looking for him.
All right, well, it's one of the biggest houses in the city. You go about to the right, about 8 doors. Can't miss it. He's one of the few people that actually has a yard, some livestock. Perks of being the mayor, I guess.
All right. Well, I thank you very much.
He, like, doffs his cap at you and keeps going because he had somewhere to be when you accosted him. Mavia is still trying to find Logain, I see, down at the other end of the street.
Mm-hmm.
Zalanis and Verisa, what are you all up to while all of this trying to come together in one spot is happening?
I think I would just sort of grab my staff and get to the muster point fairly quickly. Zalanis has been almost like back to his old self. He's been very quiet and sort of not expressive again since we got the mayor's letter. Just very much seems like he wants to get down to business.
Okay, so he's taking he's
in the Huns?
Hmm?
Sorry.
I missed it. I would have laughed, but I missed it.
Tanya just rolled her eyes. That's all I needed.
No, I
laugh.
I got it, and I also saw Verisa just asked me. Yes, for the sake of fun, the blacksmith is named Owen. Since you asked, the blacksmith is now named Owen. So hopefully you all muster together kind of like it near the square, and everyone that's been given assignment has come back. Bull has his directions to get you all to Old Crestwood. I'm sorry, Blackwall and Harrell, you got directions to Old Crestwood and the Warden Station?
directions.
The way station, I'm sorry.
We got directions to the mayor's house.
Yes.
I'm gonna run after Owen.
Okay.
Apologies for bothering you again, but we have a very important thing to do. Would you know, perchance, where the Warden Way Station is?
The Grey Wardens?
Yes, the same Grey Warden whose armor I'm wearing. I'm a warden, you see. I need to get to the way station.
There's this kind of row house that no one's used since I've lived here. At least that I've noticed. I don't know if it belongs to the wardens, but it's a bit out of the way. If you go toward the seashore after you find the mayor's house, you pass a shrub that was struck by lightning. It never grew back. You can't miss it. And turn left again at this dark rock, also struck by lightning. You can't miss it. You should find this row house. It may be your warden outpost you're looking for. It may not be.
All right. Would you happen to have seen a man, salt and pepper hair, with a broken nose, like he got punched in the face? Unless a dwarf asked you, then in that case, you can disregard everything I said.
No dwarf asked me, and that could describe half the men in this town. We brawl for fun.
Really?
There's not a lot to do here.
I'm telling you, Mavia, these guys, they fight for fun.
I mean, I don't think that everybody fights for fun. I mean, and if you're a good fighter, you don't necessarily get your nose broken all the time. If you get your nose broken so much that it's flat, you're either an asshole or you're just really bad at fighting.
Who says they're any good at fighting, though? Maybe they are assholes anyway.
Maybe they're just an asshole?
Maybe.
Oh,
World's full of them. I hate it.
I know. Did you take any extra bacon at breakfast?
I slipped a few in my pocket. Do you want some now? Or
I
save it
would
for
like
second breakfast?
No, I have taken care of second breakfast. May I have your bacon, please? Thank you.
Here you go.
This touching
right.
scene was brought to you by the power of bacon.
Mm-hmm. Grey Warden bacon, best in the land. All right, so you have your directions. Do you want to ask Owen anything else before you let him on his way?
We got the way station. We got the mayor.
And it was Bull that was supposed to find directions to Old Crestwood.
Yeah. I think we're good.
All right. So Owen gives you a look. He's like, is that all, Sirrah Warden? Is there anything else you would like, perhaps? Would you like the finest cow in the land while we're at it?
But I would look for a cow vendor, not a smith.
He looks like he wants to punch you at that remark. It's like,
Yeah, but this entire village keeps wanting to punch people.
fair. He's like, you
Doesn't
know good
everyone?
and well. Well, yeah. You know good and well what I meant. Is there anything else you would like to know as a visitor to our town?
I don't think I do. I think I know too much about your town already.
Wow. He just gives you a dirty look. And good day to you too, sir. And walks off.
You get nothing. Goodbye.
Nothing. Farewell. All right, so question for the party. Do you want to find the mayor first and then find your way to Old Crestwood? Or try to find Old Crestwood and the Warden Way Station, then find the mayor?
I mean, is the mayor on the way out of town towards Old Crestwood, or is he in an opposite direction?
You would pass the mayor's house no matter what.
Might as well stop at the
mean-
house.
Yeah, I definitely would want to
Stop at the
stop
house.
that way, particularly since the mayor said in the note that he couldn't stand the sight of Old Crestwood, so I assume we will find him elsewhere. and would like to find him sooner than later.
Well, his house is as far away from Old Crestwood as he could get away with having it.
Right.
All right, so you follow the directions given to you, and you come upon a house. It's nicer than the rest of those you've seen in Crestwood, and surprisingly, it's not like, oh, someone flung the door open and ran away, but there doesn't seem to be anyone in the house. One of you can attempt to go in or knock, or what would you like to do?
Bastion, being the appropriate, slightly gentlemanly type, will bang really, really hard on the door.
Roll me a d20 and tell me what number you get.
Uh-oh.
It's not for a bad reason.
19.
Oh, so you bang on the door hard enough that on the last smack to the door, it flies open and gets stuck. Like you hit it so hard, it basically gets stuck on its own track, swinging the wrong way. And the light behind you from daylight kind of shows that there's nothing in the house to show anyone has been there for the last few hours. There's just dust everywhere. It looks like there's probably a bedroom, a combined kitchen, eating area. And, even though it is the mayor's house and it's nicer, it's still a small town in Ferelden kind of place. And everyone, please investigate the house for me. If you go in, if you stay on the porch, do not roll an investigation.
What is investigation?
Hold on.
Or perception?
Yes. Investigation is stuck in my brain. I will roll for Fenris.
I'm just gonna stay by the door.
Okay.
That is 9, 10, 12. 12.
10, 11, 12.
11.
And I rolled doubles, so I could technically stunt my investigation.
So can I.
So
I don't
can
know
I.
what I would do, but
All right. Well, I can't, but I got a 13, so.
Well, I got a 13, but I have 3 stunt points as Fenris.
All right, Fenris can
Yeah.
find
do I
it.
keep those stunt points for later?
No.
Crap.
If you would like to make a show of your investigation of the mayor's house, feel free.
Tanya? I need
Yes.
to check something. I need to
Okay.
check one thing. Sorry, hold on.
Okay.
Well, I don't have any stunt points, so Zalana's searching, I think, is just, again, silently and perhaps using his staff as a walking stick a little harder than is strictly necessary. Just sort of walks in and does a sweep of any sign of anyone in here, and possibly if he could find anyone hiding, any hiding places in the walls. So just sort of rapping on walls with the staff as I walk by and walk through rooms.
Okay. Well, there's like maybe 4 rooms altogether.
Is there an upstairs, by the way? I'm sorry.
No, there's not.
Okay.
There's a lot of books. There's a table. There's like a wooden cook stove. A door in the back, which you're guessing either leads like to the road or maybe to an outdoor privy. You would think the mayor would have an indoor privy, but even in being the mayor doesn't get you everything. Zalanis, and what was your total roll again?
13.
Okay. And Verisa, are you done checking your thing?
I'm trying to find. Oh, here we go. It's an exploration stunt. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, because she's going to use. Because I got stunt points, I can use for that makes me wonder. Because rogue, and roll an extra perception check.
Okay. Well, roll away.
And she is gonna try
I was muted
and
this whole time I was talking to you guys. I'm sorry.
oh, no worries. And she's gonna try and like go through the upstairs and seeing if there's any like doors that are locked, chests that are locked, things that might be that give away other things.
Well, there's no upstairs, but there,
Okay, well then-
there are chests around that you'll
Yeah.
notice. In the what looks to be the sleeping area, you'll find 2 chests.
Mhm.
And in the kind of, I guess we'd say, dining room area, there is a cabinet that looks like it probably holds something beside nicer crockery than you'd expect a rural mayor to have. So
Rolled
there's
really poorly.
Yes.
Rolled poorly on the second one, so.
Oh no.
When Varisa's done, maybe I will take over.
I mean, that's an 11. Yeah, that's an 11. She's just going through everything she can find.
Okay, so you're rifling through things. I will roll some dice to see what you do, but maybe what are you doing?
So what I was saying when I was muted is that I have the same thing where I have the that makes me wonder
Okay.
feat, which does give me an extra perception check. So what everybody would see is Mavia wandering around and like finding curtains or under tables, just going aha and like ripping the curtains back or looking under the table, you know. But in reality, she is actually looking. And she's gonna roll like crap because I'm Kelly. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, but she is doing the very big aha moments every time she rips back the curtains.
Okay. Who else is investigating or perceiving?
I was perceiving with 11.
Okay. And Zalanis, are you inside or outside?
Sorry, I was muted. I couldn't find the window. I'm going inside.
Okay. Have you rolled your perception yet?
Yeah, 13.
Okay, so Zalanis finds a scrap of paper that is damp and weathered, and it's weird because parts of Crestwood seem weirdly damp and weathered, but the scrap of paper that you find is addressed to the mayor.
Oh.
And it's faded because ink on parchment isn't going to last forever. And it's from someone named Robert. The work you ordered is done. Do what you want. I'll be in the hills trying to forget it, is what the fading ink says on this note. And it's clear this was probably in reference to what the mayor had done to Old Crestwood. What do you all make of the note?
Well, I guess my first question, and I may very well just go, which NPCs are with us? Did any come with us? No.
Fenris is with you.
Fenris did come. He was done with this. Okay. So in that case, I will ask, I may go over and show it to Fenris and ask if he has any idea about where in the hills specifically this is referring to. Because, I mean, looking at the map of Crestwood, there are a fair number of hills around.
He shakes his head no. It could be the hills far north that you would pass through if you were trying to go back over to a different part of the country. It could be the lower hills to the south of us. It could be a valley. For all we know, the hills could be anywhere around this town. But that's something to ask once we have found our friend the mayor. And it looks like he's abandoned this after he had that note sent. So we'll have to assign some scouts to look for him because he's a few hours gone, it looks like. And he looks to Verisa. Do you have lockpicks? Can you get into those chests?
No, I don't have any lockpicks on me. I'm sorry.
He just
I
looks
can get into the chest, but it won't be involving lockpicks.
Well, I think the mayor has forfeited the right to any of his property at this point. So open them as you will.
Maybe it doesn't have lock picks in her inventory per se, mostly because Kelly forgot to add them. But she does have hairpins.
Okay. If the two rogues would like to divvy up opening,
is it a
chests,
check?
Yeah,
yes.
It's either straight decks, or if you have lock.
I don't have lockpicking. I just have dex.
Yeah.
I just have dex too.
14.
Oh yeah.
16.
You both successfully pick the locks on the 2 chests and the cabinet that you've seen, and I did not write down any loot that you could have found because I did not expect you to actually do this. So you will find between the items, you will find a pair of daggers. Someone will have to check and see if they're magically augmented. A longbow, a bag of coins with some silver and gold in it,
And his secret crush list.
yes, which you don't know any of the names, so
It's a little boring. He likes Owen. That's about it.
Uh,
Owen probably has no idea about this. And also you find a bunch of potions. You find lyrium potions that would be good for a Templar. You find other lyrium potions, but you're not sure if they're for a mage or a Templar because you can't just tell on sight. The ones for Templars are a very distinctive shade of blue. The other one, it could be like an unfinished potion. It could be for a mage. Nobody, I'm guessing, wants to take a chance and figure that out. And the last thing that you find is a scroll that somehow has survived all the damp you have found in the city. But it's sealed with a wax seal. You're not sure who exactly the seal is for. But you all can take it with you. You can divvy it up right now, or someone can carry this. Bull probably has the most room in his pack if you want to take it out and give it to him, and you can divvy this up later on the road or back in Skyhold.
2 things, one of them out of character.
Mhm.
Out of character, in this world, is it really bad if a non-mage drinks a mage potion?
Yes.
yes.
Okay, I'm not
Yes.
going to do that then.
It's gonna hurt.
It will really hurt.
Almost
It's
like if
also
a mage,
addictive.
it's also like if a mage drank a Witcher potion.
Yeah.
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 So in that case, Mavia is going to look at Verisa and look at the bow on her back and look at Verisa and kind of reach out real slow and take the daggers and put them on her belt.
Marisa will not stop you, and you would notice that she has hanging from her belt 4 other daggers, and one that looks a lot bigger than the others and has like a bone handle on it. She's like, don't worry.
I mean, it's
And
not about the size, it's about how fast I can stab them, but it's okay.
That's what the throwing ones are for, and this is the one for the close and personal. And she would look at the bow and kind of pick it up and pull it on it a little bit and just kind of snort and say, anybody wants the...
Wow. Does anybody want the bow?
It's well,
Not all at once, gentlemen.
You don't want it, Verissa?
She kind of turns and pulls the bow off of her back, and she said, do you see a difference between these two?
I'm not super well versed in archery. Is it bigger than a short bow?
Yeah.
Yeah. She has a longbow.
No, I mean the one that you're showing right now.
Yeah, they're both... She pulled hers off, which is a longbow, and the one she has in her hand that she's offering to is a longbow as well.
Oh, well,
Yes.
in that case, yeah, I'll probably take the longbow, just
Yeah.
because it has
she goes-
probably a more range than what I have.
Yeah.
And she just kind of snorts and goes, have the...
Wow.
and puts hers back. You would notice that hers looks very distinctly different and is a very different wood than what she just handed you.
Yes, we will stat out your bow before next session to see what kind of bow you got. I will do some die rolls.
Did I get magic daggers?
We will see. Someone has to check the daggers and see if they have any magic, which I'm sure that Zalanis may be willing to do once you are not seeking
Eventually.
out the mayor.
I will
or
bribe
other
you
people.
with bacon.
Oh my god!
I probably won't require the bribe tomorrow.
Wow, this shenaniganry. Well, the rest of the stuff Fenris actually grabs and throws in a bag. He's like, I'll give this to Bull. He probably has the most room since he's like a foot taller than me and has a giant traveling bag. He looks around as well, and he doesn't find anything else besides scrap of paper and all the loot that you all have uncovered. And he goes back out. Who stayed outside on the porch?
I would have, but I think I had to come in to talk to Verissa, I guess.
You could have, or you could have been yelling. I mean, when we say room, it's not like it's 20 feet away.
Okay.
With the door flung open, you could have just yelled out between open space.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and she might have come towards you guys, bringing the stuff out, sort of.
Then yeah, Harold would have stayed at the door, because what I wanted to do originally while everyone was searching is to keep an eye out on the streets and trying to see if like anyone was looking at us suspiciously.
Yeah, I mean, no one is really suspicious about this group because they figured the Inquisitor would have business with the mayor. They are a little surprised at how they don't hear the mayor's voice. They just hear you all talking, and how the door is just kind of like wedged open. But again, they're like, that's mayoral business. That's none of my business. I got things to do. I have crops to pick. I have laundry to wash. I'm just going to do what I'm going to do. So now you know the mayor's run off, but Fenris can assign scouts to look for the mayor while you go do other things. The question is, do you want to try to find the Warden Way Station, or do you want to check out Old Crestwood? Or do you want to split the party?
The Warden Way Station, we were hoping to find evidence of Loghain at. Is that the deal with that?
You're hoping to find evidence of Loghain, and you're hoping maybe hoping against hope, maybe some sign that Anders had been there as well.
Right. I think Zalanis would vote for that in that case. If we just have to wait until until Fenris's scouts find the mayor, then I think that would be my vote.
Okay. Anyone else want to chime in, or are we
Please?
set on the road?
I'd be inclined to head towards a way station.
Okay.
I mean, I would like the way station.
Okay. Well, poor Harold. If you find Loghain, there's going to be so bad. All right. So hopefully someone remembers the directions I gave for the way station, because that was totally off the cuff.
Find the large shrub that was struck by lightning and that has never really grown back. Get about there. It's another quarters of a mile beyond and turns around. Turn right.
I wrote down instructions when I was being sarcastic. No, I was being totally sarcastic, but I can find them. Warden Way Station Waypoint Woes past Sally selling seashells, but the shrub's on the seashore and it's all been struck by lightning.
That works.
And you go right.
That is after about 4 fingers of bourbon, people. This is why I'm a professional. There you go.
Yeah, because if I had 4 fingers of bourbon, it would be a very short show tonight. I'd be asleep. So
the fine line we dance.
Yes, I'm a lightweight and I'm tired. So you follow these meandering directions and you realize we are kind of in the country, because for those of you that are a bit more metropolitan, shall we say, these are not directions you would have given anyone. These are like when you visit your country cousins, and not in a bad way, but like the cousins that live like on the farm, that literally that's how they give directions to everybody and they understand it. And you being more of a city person are like, just give me a street name, please. But you somehow find it.
Yeah, and everybody knows where the shrub is.
This is why I always tell people New York City is great, because of the way it's laid out like a grid. So easy.
So is Chicago, but I still get lost here. So you even though, I mean, some of you are used to these kind of directions, I would say Bastien, probably this would make total sense to you.
Oh yeah, Burnt Rock. That's easy.
And the 2 Dalish elves are like, yeah, this is how we give directions to each other all the time.
How else would you?
You need to
I would like to roll to see how well Mavia finds the directions to impress her new friend, Iron Bull, to show him that she could be a competent buddy cop partner.
Sure, go for it.
I don't know what you want me to roll.
Let me look at Navia's character sheet really quick.
Oh no! Don't do that. Don't choose my like lowest thing.
No, I'm trying to see what stat it should be. Hold on. I'm going to go with perception because you actually have a focus that should help with that.
Searching or just perception?
Searching. Do searching.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16!
You did not get lost. Congratulations.
Woo! Unlike me in life.
Look, don't like take me anywhere.
No, look, I took my husband on a trip to go to a convention I was a guest at in New Jersey, and we somehow ended up 3 hours later back at our house. It was a big circle. It's just a long...
Good job. Good job. But everyone perceives and understands the instructions. And you find this kind of long row house. Harold, actually give me a perception check.
Yes.
And if you have any focuses that would help with this, feel free to use them.
No, I only have the 1 die in perception. I am the most perceptive person in the world.
You'll get there.
Well, 1 die, +1 I meant. So I got
Yeah.
6, 9, 10.
Okay, so because it is a warden way station, you notice very faded on the wood the griffin symbol of the wardens. And that would be like the only way that another warden would know this. So tell me, what is it like when you realize that this is the way station you are looking for?
A longhouse?
Yeah, it'd be like big enough to hold like maybe 10 to 20 wardens at a time.
I was
So
expecting...
basically, like if you're in the field or like marching somewhere, it's a place to stop, refresh. Like a small company could stay there overnight, maybe a couple days at the most, and then be on their way. It's not meant to be like a fortress or anything. It's like you happened upon this while traveling and need a place to rest your head for a couple days and don't want to go to an inn.
Harold was expecting a fort?
Okay.
Harold was expecting something more grandiose, but at the same time, he's not that disappointed because everything's been a disappointment lately about the Grey Wardens. So it's just like, oh, I should have expected that. Like, it could have been a hole in the mud. That would have been...
No. Poor Harold. He's so disillusioned.
I gave my life to a group of liars and cheats and...
You
Welcome
did
to
save the world the once.
I'm not going to say what I'm thinking.
Welcome to the Wardens. Well, are you going to tell the others this is what you're looking for, or are you just going to be like, damn, this is it?
Damn, this is it. It's where we are. We're in the right place. Like, hey everyone, welcome to the way station.
Don't suppose your fancy warden sense tells you if there's anyone in there?
Oh my god.
No.
Do I sense anything in there?
I will make you roll for it because you should have something because you are a warden, and I forget what the extra focus is as a warden.
It's detect shit, I had it. I closed the book. Like detect darkspawn or a thing like that.
Okay.
Do.
Well, give me a roll and I will tell you what you detect.
Sure. It's based on perception if I remember right.
Yes.
Yeah. Sense darkspawn. There it is. It's a perception detect darkspawn test to find out more information, blah blah blah. And I've never bought it because I just received it. So just straight perception. Hey, I got a double, but I have 14. Can I stunt the thing?
Sure, go for it. I role play this out for us. I need to know what you're doing, and then I will tell you what you sense.
Okay. I have no idea about the stunts. I'm not gonna look him up. So he would just, as he traces like the symbol of the Grey Warden on the wall, Harold closes his eyes and draws up on the images of the flashes that he gets sometimes of this dark cavern where something calls to him. It's faint, but it's there, and knowing that we're all joined in this curse, he tries to sense, to feel like if that voice in the dark calls out for someone nearby as well.
All right.
Like if you can hear the whisper of
so you want to see if you can feel that unclean feeling of the darkspawn scrabbling in the back of your head that lets you know either darkspawn or another warden is around. So as you're doing this, as you're touching the door and everyone's kind of staring at you wondering what you're doing, you feel an answering call. It's not loud, but you do know that there is another warden in this way station. You can't tell if they're human, elf. You're pretty sure it's not another darkspawn, but you do realize it is a warden. What do you do when you realize it?
I turn to everyone. I say, someone's in there.
Someone who? Fenris asks.
Not a darkspawn, but a warden.
What are the rest of you doing with this news?
When he says it's a war, I'd sort of tensed up and gripped my staff tight. But when he says it's a warden, just blank again and just sort of looking to Fenris to see how he wants to proceed.
Okay. What about the rest of you?
So you said the atmosphere was like a little scary-ish, foreboding.
A little bit, because Crestwood, at least where you're at, is dry. You're not far from the shore, and you can kind of hear the ocean a little bit. But
I was actually right about the seashore. I did not realize that.
Yes, there is seashore
brilliant.
near Crestwood.
Great.
But it is very foreboding. It's very gloomy, because it is not a happy day in the neighborhood of Crestwood.
Mm-hmm.
But you now know that Harold has sensed another warden. What would you all like to do?
So Maevia, despite her attempts to be very gregarious in front of everybody and show them that she can be useful, has lived her entire life so far underground and is now having to deal with open sky and a lot of new things, and now a very kind of scary place. So she would like to kind of walk up next to Iron Bull and just really, really quietly take his hand.
Okay. He feels you grab his hand, and he just gently closes his fingers around yours, and he's just like, it'll be okay. I got you.
Okay.
So he is going to make sure that you're okay. Verisa and Bastian, what are you doing?
Bastian is gonna look to Fenris and Harold and kind of debate whether or not he needs to unsheath his glaive or just leave it on his back. He's kind of looking for direction from them.
Okay. And what is Verisa sneaky, stabby doing?
Okay, two things. One, did Blackwall come with us?
Yes, and he is as far away as he can be without being obvious.
Cool. Marissa's got the bow off her shoulder and an arrow notched in it, but she just hasn't raised yet, and she's keeping one eye on Harrell and one eye on Blackwall, because this would be a very good opportunity for Blackwall to decide that he doesn't want to take that deal that Harrell offered him.
Oh. All right.
Also, Verisa doesn't trust people. Are you surprised?
Does she not trust anyone, or just not trust anyone beside elves?
I think right now she definitely doesn't. I think doesn't trust most people, and she's willing to give Bastien and Mavia. They aren't liars. They're too obvious in their rightness to not be liars. Plus, she spied on Bastien, so she knows what. She kind of checked him out. He's okay. And
Okay.
Mavia's, she's like, I can respect your hustle, and you're not a threat, but she definitely doesn't trust Blackwall.
That you know of.
She respects your hustle, though.
Okay. So Blackwall notices Verisa kind of checking him out, and he looks right at Harold, and he like that. You can almost hear the wheels spinning of like, well, shit. Because Harold said he felt a warden, unless he's hoping that everyone assumes that, well, I'm a warden, of course Harold will sense me.
Yeah,
And he tries to be quiet.
I think Harold catches like a glimpse of Blackwall, and he catches himself and says, yeah, there's a warden inside. Of course, there's Blackwall, but I don't think he's our enemy.
Blackwall, like he catches himself before he gives you like a relieved look, because he knows that y'all are not stupid, and he also knows that you and Verisa know the truth, and he's really hoping not to get found out yet. And he may be planning something stupid, but it's Blackwall. So everyone knows what's up. Fenris, he unsheathes his sword because he doesn't know if this is a warden that all he knows is you sense a warden, but not who it is. It could be Anders for all you know.
Fenris,
yes.
let me go in first.
All right, we'll be right behind you.
Yeah, and I'll draw my sword. Get my
Okay.
shield out.
All right.
And then realize the door might be locked. So I'm just gonna try opening the door.
Oh my god. It would be too comical for the door to be entirely barred and locked, but I won't do that to you.
That's where the fastball special over the wall through the window goes.
Oh my god, no. Try the door, and trying to think of what the stat would be.
I can knock on it for you if you like. Worked last time.
I mean, you could also let Bastien knock on the door.
I don't want to spook whoever's inside.
Maybe if they're
Alright.
more afraid of us, it might help us.
Maybe.
If it's Anders, he might get spooked and then blow us all up to...
Well, is there a back door?
That's a good
Well,
question.
from where you're standing, you wouldn't know that because you're all clustered around where this faded warden symbol is, and far as you can tell, unless someone wants to go around the back, far as you can tell, that's the only way in or out.
I normally think about back doors, but I have to admit the whole thing kind of got me off my game. There is nothing remotely... This is on
Simon,
you.
just stop digging the hole. Just stop digging the hole. You done buried yourself. Leave it alone.
Oh my God. So, are you going to try to lockpick? Are you going to see if it's open? If
I'm gonna
it's,
see
well,
if
not
it's-
open, but unlocked.
I'm gonna see if it's unlocked first. Like, gently take the door and try to open it slowly.
Okay. Roll me a d20 and tell me what you get.
Sure. Oops.
What did you get?
I got a 1.
Well, luckily this is not D&D, so 1 is not going to be a penalty and a fail.
Oh, okay.
Oh, but couldn't it be? Just once.
Mean. Mean.
Good,
But
but
it's a 1.
He's
so
been so mean to me on ones before.
no, but we're not playing D&D. It's not a crit fail. So you try the door, and while it is unlocked, the door is old, and it does screech a little bit as you try to gently open it. So the good news is you're in the way station. The bad news is whoever you felt probably has also felt your presence if they're another warden.
Mm-hmm.
And that very loud screech the door just made would have given you away anyway.
Okay.
So how do you all want to proceed? Bull's kind of holding up the rear because he's also very tall, and he's gonna have to bend down to get in his way station. So he will be last, and also kind of keeping an eye and a gentle hand on Mavia to make sure she's okay.
I think I'm just gonna motion to everyone behind me, like, one moment.
Okay.
And I'll poke my head in.
Okay.
Hello?
Oh,
Oh my god, you said hello. Sorry, I'm just laughing. As you finish saying hello, an arrow lands in the door above where you're peeking through.
Whoa! That could have been my face. I'm a warden. Didn't you sense me?
I did, but I don't know if you're a friend or foe. And you hear a very familiar gravelly voice.
Logain?
That would be me. Is that the elven? Is that the elven warden? Harold, is that you?
Yeah.
You almost got shot in the face.
You almost tricked me to think that you were an honorable person.
What? Are you here at the behest of the other wardens? Of the
No!
Orlesian and the Ferelden wardens?
I have no clue what you're talking about. This is just random happenstance, and also, why didn't you tell me the truth?
Wait. He's like sheathing his bow and he's walking forward. He's like, What are you talking about? I've been trying to make my way to find, well, our lost wayward apostate Anders, and also my contact who was supposed to meet me here.
Oh, who's your contact?
Well, it was supposed to be the champion of Kirkwall.
Hawk?
Yes. Logan is very confused. He's like, you didn't expect to see Harold, and you're the only one in there, so everyone's outside wondering what is going on.
We're probably your contact then.
You're not Hawk.
No, but I'm with the next best thing. I'm with the Lord Inquisitor.
Why? I didn't send for the Inquisitor. Why would I ask him to come all the way out here?
I don't know. We're searching for... You know what? I just, like, opened the door a smidge, and I'm like, everyone come in. It's okay. It's Logain.
Logan is incredibly confused now because he's like, I last saw you and you were fine, and now you're angry, and I'm confused because none of you are the person I was expecting.
No, and we need to talk about that.
Sure. He's just very like, all right.
Before everyone comes in, I'll just shoot a quick. You're gonna have to tell me why every warden I meet is either a liar, a cheat, or a fraud. I thought we stood for something.
We do. When you join the wardens, whether on your own or if conscription, your past life is done. Everything that matters in that moment is the uniform you put on and the oath you took. Usually, those that take on the mantle of warden do so either to forget their old lives or, in my case, as punishment for my old life. But I didn't think that would be the first thing you asked if I ever saw you again. We do have bigger things to worry about, like the rift in the sky. Why you drag the Inquisitor, who's the only one who can close these rifts, with you to Crestwood. And where's Hawk?
You think I have more pull than I actually have. I didn't drag Fenris up here. He dragged me here.
Dragged you. Alright, well, where is he?
Well, we're just all waiting outside. Logan. There's a potential recruit in this group.
Is he a ward? Is he a liar?
How did you guess?
I don't know. You're the one that asked me about whether all wardens are liars.
Yeah, so, just go along. I'm gonna make him join the moment we find some sort of dark spawn to bleed.
If he's acceptable, it depends on what lies he's told. All of my misdeeds are a matter of public record, which you could have found out if you'd bothered to ask.
Oh, that's what I did. I asked.
I can tell you that once we've talked to everyone else that's outside that door, that you are not letting in for whatever reason.
Because I wanted to have a chat first.
Fine, what else do you want to know?
Nothing. That was it. You said that your whole life doesn't matter anymore because you put on the uniform.
That's what it's supposed to be, but clearly it doesn't matter for you.
Well, no, I'll actually try to honor this and remove from my mind the notions of whatever it is you've done before. See, I'm already starting to forget about it.
I'm sure if you talk to anyone from Ferelden or who survived the Blight, I'm sure they'll be very happy to tell you what I've done. And it proves once more that no matter what I do, it will always follow me, probably to my end. If you really must know, I can tell you, or I can get you a history book.
I don't want to know. Not anymore.
You sure seem to want to know.
Your misdeeds are going to follow to your end, and I'm forever going to be an elven slave. No matter what colors I wear.
He just tilts his head at you. He's like, you don't talk like an elven slave.
No, I tend to talk back a lot.
And that doesn't sound like a slave to me.
I still have pointy ears, and that's enough for a lot of people to mistreat me.
Unfortunately, that's true.
The only thing that keeps... Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
The only thing that keeps a few of them at bay is the fact that I'm wearing the blue and the griffin.
Also true. Which is sad. But hopefully one day we can rectify that. But today it's not that day. Are you going to let your companions in?
Oh, now that I know you're not going to run away. Yeah. And I open the door.
Everyone... Well, Fenris comes in. He's still got his sword out because he could only kind of hear half of what you all were talking about. Bull stands guard outside once he's sure that maybe it's okay to go in.
I don't know.
You're muted,
Maybe,
Kelly.
maybe.
Ha 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 ha. It was really good acting too. Mavia Mavia will look up at Bull and kind of smile at him and squeeze his hand and turn around and go inside, and rather reminiscent of her very first meeting with Bull, she is going to walk directly up to Logain
Boy.
and look at him and kind of stand on her tiptoes and stare for a minute
Okay.
at him.
And he raises an eyebrow and stares at you. He's like, can I help you?
And then she'll just kind of say, yep, it's very punchable. And she'll turn around and walk back.
Logain just looks at Harold. It's like, interesting company you're keeping these days, Warden.
She has a lot of skills.
Many skills.
They'll be needed depending on what you all get into.
Do you pay in food? I don't need your food. I already have food, and they're nicer.
Logain is just like looking at the rest of you like, and your friends, your other friends, Harold, who are they?
Oh, let me introduce them. This is Zalanis. And he points to Zalanis.
Zalanis has been sort of staring out the open door, keeping an eye out for the scouts. Not that there's any chance that they would already be coming back to us, but he's very eager. So he sort of starts at the sound of his name and turns around and looks almost surprised to see Logain and just sort of nods a little confused.
Okay.
Verissa.
She just nod, and she's released the tension on the bow, but she still has the arrow notched in it, and but it's pointed down now. And she's just keeping one eye on Zalanis and one eye on Logain, and just not trying to see what the vibe of the room is, and seeing who. Keeping also another eye on Blackwall, because Blackwall.
You've met Mavia already. And this is Bastien.
Bastion is just gonna be like, kind of giving him a bit of a scowl, but not really too sure if it's worth doing anything. And yeah, he's just watching.
Okay.
Harold, do I need to go get? I mean, you didn't introduce Bull, and it's not nice to leave people out.
No, I was going to.
Okay.
And Bull is outside.
So maybe I will kind of trot over to the door, and she'll kind of look at it. We found one of the guys we were looking for.
All right, I can hear you. I'm keeping watch.
His face is very punchable.
Well, if he needs punching, if he's mean to you, just let me know.
Can you just lift me up and I can punch him? I mean,
sure, if you really, really want.
All right. And she goes trots back inside.
And during that time, I would have introduced like Fenris and Blackwall.
So out of character quickly, do you try to catch him if he calls Blackwall a recruit?
Yeah, I'll say like, this is Fenris, the Inquisitor, and this is the other warden that I've been traveling with, the one I told you about.
Interesting. Where were you recruited? And Blackwall, he kind of knows. He's like, oh, I'm in trouble. So he's trying to figure out a way to answer that won't give him away. But luckily for him, before he can stumble through an answer, Fenris goes up to Logain, and this is gonna be weird because I'll be talking to myself. And he's like, I heard you mention Hawk. Hawk didn't tell me he was supposed to meet any warden contact. Logain turns around and finds the note that tells him where he was supposed to find Hawk and just hands it to him. And while Fenris is pacing around reading this letter, what all are you all doing?
I'm just gonna keep an ear out on that conversation.
Okay.
I might actually step back outside with Bull, because this holds little interest for me at the moment.
Okay.
I think Barisa goes and stands in the doorway, but she's concerned now that this is a trap.
Okay.
Well, Fenris said that Hawk didn't mention anything about meeting a contact.
To him, you would never have heard, none of you would have known about that. That would have been between him and Hawk. And it could be...
No, but didn't he just say to Logain that Hawk never said anything?
Yeah.
So her answer then is, Hawk didn't mention that to Fenris. Fenris and Hawk, there's a possibility that somebody lied to Logain. She's not sure what happened with Fenris, but she's now concerned that somebody's made this trying to get to Logain, because Logain she could see somebody plotting something like this.
Yeah.
And so she's paranoid, but that doesn't mean that they aren't out to get her. So she's just keeping an eye on everything at this point.
Okay, so you're being your own version of Zevran, as it were?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Yeah, she's being a Zevran.
Okay. In the meantime, Fenris has handed the note back. Hawk would have told me, or he would have insisted on coming with me if he was supposed to meet you. What was the plan to meet up with the champion? And Logan's like, you read the note. He was supposed to come find me, and we were going to set off to find some other wardens and see if we could track down Anders as well. And so Fenris is scowling because either that means Hawk is keeping secrets, or someone is using his name to try to track down Logain. And he finds somewhere to sit, and he's just like pondering what this could mean. And while that is happening, while he's just kind of deep in thought trying to figure this out, as Bull, Barisa, and Zalanis are outside, you notice a horse coming up the trail. What do you do?
Can I see anyone features on who's on the horse, or what it looks like, or?
The horse looks like it may have come from a well-appointed stable. It's a large black war horse, and the person is wearing a hood, and from the distance you can't tell what weapon they have, but they are armed. So are they armed in a sense that they've had the weapon drawn, or are they just armed in a sense that they're wearing it? They're wearing it. So there's like something you can see, like a handle of something, like like over their shoulder. So it's not like, oh, it's strapped to the side of the horse. They're basically like ready for combat should they run across someone that turns out to be an enemy. But they are galloping towards you at a nice pace.
She's still got the bow drawn, and she kind of steps slightly in front of but to the side of Zalanis.
Okay.
With a bead on the rider.
Okay. Zalanis,
are we out obviously in the open where this person can see the three of us, just the two of us and Bull right now? Is that right?
Yes, so the three of you,
okay.
yes.
Are we like obviously already visible to this person?
Yeah, you're outside. I mean,
Okay.
Bull is not a small
Sure.
person. So if nothing, even if
Sure.
you had been missed, the big horns with the blue bauble on them would have been very.
Oh, right. Right.
It's very
Forgot about-
shiny.
How could I have forgotten the bauble?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, when they're in a reasonable distance to be able to hear us, I mean, I think I would just raise a hand and say, "Hail, what brings you?"
And the horse comes up short and it's like, "What brings you here? Who are you? Wait." And then they reach up and pull the hood back, and it's Hawk.
Oh, for heaven's sake. Forgive me, Hawk. I was hoping for someone else. You are likely wanted inside.
Well, sorry to disappoint you.
It wasn't. We're waiting on some scouts to deal with the situation. Fenris and the others are inside.
All right. And he looks at Verisa like, you gonna put that down?
Just without looking. I don't even need to look to know that she still has it. Just like, no, down.
Right. Like, you gonna shoot me? What the hell?
Can't be too careful. Might have been somebody who wished to harm the Inquisitor.
I
And she
have-
slowly releases tension on the bow.
Oh
I
my
have a
God.
question.
Sure.
While everybody's distracted looking at very important conversation between Fenris and Logain inside, can maybe look around the station for anything that could be appropriated for possible future use?
Anything that isn't nailed down.
Listen.
Sure. Sure.
I mean, Legend of Zelda taught me two things. You steal people's stuff and you break all their ceramics. 11, 12, 14, 15, 16.
Okay. I'm just trying to remember what it looks like inside because it's bigger on the inside, like the TARDIS. I'm trying to find like
And
Either
maybe
a
his plate
screenshot-
from breakfast, apparently.
I'm trying to find a quick screenshot of it.
You've never eaten breakfast when I'm also eating breakfast. It's very special. There's
Crap.
a lot
Is
of
that
food
true?
that disappears. Yeah, no, I don't think we've ever actually eaten breakfast. Here.
That might be true, yeah.
Oh, I can't
I think like
find.
every convention we've always ended up at like lunch.
Sorry, I'm trying to
Excuse
find
me.
a picture of it
Terrible
really quick.
Yeah, you're fine.
Because I remember I do remember that there's like stalactites, stalagmites in it, and like tables everywhere. Nope, that is the Herald's Rest. Why is there not a screenshot of what I need? How the internet has failed me in this moment.
Because your player was not supposed to ask to do this.
Well, we also didn't know if the players would actually get to the way station.
Right.
So, all right. So yes, you gave me a 16.
Yes, a 16.
So you find a couple barrels. You also spy some maps, which is surprising considering maps are very expensive. They take a very long time to make. And even the wardens don't have inexhaustible resources. You find a couple books and you find a chest. And because you rolled well, I'm going to say that the chest is not locked because the wardens don't expect people to randomly show up and ransack their way stations. So yeah, roll me a d10 and tell me what you get.
I want the maps. Roll.
Well, I'm imagining Mavia trying to roll.
No, because Kelly sucks.
No, but maps are also probably huge. Remember, the Inquisition battle map takes up literally the whole table.
I don't remember that.
Well, not you, but but basically, imagine you're the biggest dining room.
Imagine a table, and it's full
Yes.
of map. Okay,
Yes.
got it.
So you could try to steal the map, but it's going to be real interesting. So you roll up this parchment and try to carry something that's probably as longer than you are tall once it's rolled up, because you are a dwarf. And it's a map. Are you going to investigate the chest?
Yes.
Okay. And what was your D10 roll?
2.
That's not bad. It's just for figuring out what you picked up. You in the chest find basically what looks like warden gear. It's not anything that's super interesting. You find like a breastplate, a couple daggers, but they're not as nice as what you found earlier. And like a few coppers, and that's about it. There's not much interesting in the chest, unlike your earlier finds.
Okay, I'll take the money, and I will attempt to take the map.
All right, please roleplay how you try to steal this map. I need to know this. Oh no, you're
So
trying
the
to steal
first
this map.
question is, how tall is the table?
On an average height human, it'd be a little under waist high.
It's about to my shoulder, most likely.
Probably, yes.
So she's just gonna kind of walk really slowly and like flip up one end of it with her hand while she's walking slowly, pretending to listen to the conversation, and just try to really slowly keep walking down the table and rolling it as she goes, hoping it rolls up like wrapping paper.
Okay.
And then if she gets it rolled up like wrapping paper, she will very quickly fold it.
So you're trying to fold a map that's been on a table you don't know how long. Just to be clear, this is what you're
First,
doing.
I'm trying to roll a map. I don't know how long it's been there. Then I'm trying to fold a map that I don't know how long it's been there.
Okay. You know you're gonna have to roll.
I would like to remind all of you that you invited me on this stream.
This is hilarious.
And what would you like me to roll?
Give me a dex on both of those because maps are fragile. Crestwood is gross and damp.
13, 18? 18?
Okay.
I can't add. No, that's 18. Okay.
Okay, so you managed to roll up the map.
13
Somehow
on the folding.
you managed to roll up the map, but when you fold it, you hear a crack as the parchment does not like being rolled and then folded. So you've got a map, but it's now broken into two pieces.
I can work with that.
Oh.
I will.
I'm just like, you just hear a roll, snap.
Yep, but we can always lay it out later. I'm sure this world has glue of some kind.
Oh my god! I can hear Devin like yelling at me through the ether.
Oh yeah, no, she's gonna murder me. So in that case, when she hears the snap, she just kind of takes both pieces and puts them behind her back, and she walks casually to the door and reaches out the door and just kind of pulls on both pinky.
And he turns around kind of confused because first Hawk shows up and now you're tugging on him. He's like, what?
I brought you a present, but it's in two pieces, but you can't be mad. And then she'll just shove both the pieces at him and say, hide this, you're bigger than me, and take off the other direction.
So you're running away from the way station is what you're telling me.
No, I'm running back into the way station, pretend I didn't just give something to Bull.
Okay. He's very confused, as is the theme of this game now. Everyone's confused. They wonder, record scratch, how they got here. He puts them in his travel bag and then steps aside so Hawk can enter. Oh god, now I have 3 NPCs that are talking to each other that I have to. Oh my god, I put myself in a corner. This is my fault. I blame myself for this. But as Hawk walks in, Fenris looks up and is like, fancy meeting you here, and that's where we're gonna end.
Dun, dun, dun. But this time it was the pug, not the groundhog.
Yes.
For next week,
Yes.
what we need to get you, Tanya, is 2 sock puppets.
No,
Oh no! We didn't
What?
get to the point where you sent me away.
don't worry, we'll figure it out. I got you.
That's why I got us the maps.
Don't worry. We'll figure it out. I got you. That was things will happen, and I may assign an NPC to someone, so I'm not talking to myself in 3 different voices next week. But yes, Surprise Hawk is where we're ending this week. Hopefully everyone has had fun. It wasn't too silly. Well, I hope it was silly and fun. But Simon, take it away before I dig myself into a hole and have 4 NPCs talking to each other.
That's okay. I mean, I've been digging a hole for myself the whole episode. So if anyone wants to join, like, there's plenty enough room. Thanks,
Hey,
everyone.
you can go in through the back door to make room.
Well, now that Simon has left, we're just going to take over the channel.
Oh boy.
I mean, you walked away.
That could end very interestingly.
That's how it works with streaming, doesn't it? If you make the channel owner leave, you inherit the whole channel.
I mean,
There can only be one.
Godspeed.
But yes, Simon, take it away.
Yeah, thank you everyone for coming. Thank you to all of you who hung out in chat. Thank you for all the follows, the donations, the subs, the everything. Thank you to you watching on YouTube. It's always greatly appreciated to know that we have fans on the other platform. I am Simon at Wandering DM. We'll go around the cast and then we can plug everything, all the fun stuff. I hope you had a lot of fun watching this episode tonight. Let's do same order as intro this time. So we'll start with Deirdre. We'll finish with Tanya. If you have anything to plug, dear players and GM, you can do so in chat. If you have any links to paste or anything like that, go right ahead. So we'll start, like I said, with Deirdre.
Okay, hey all, you know me. I'm at Deirdre Dunlin on Twitter, or Praxagora Thesmiophoria as you see me around Twitch. And tomorrow over on my channel, 11 a.m. Eastern, we are doing Euripides, Classics on Twitch. We're doing Euripides, Iphigenia in Taurus, the Fix-It fic for Iphigenia dying, kind of, that Euripides wrote. And then I'll be back here tomorrow night for some fun things. And back here on Sunday, but I'll let Simon explain that one because it's complicated and fun. And then you can check my Twitter because I always post where I'm going to be. And next week I will post, over the weekend sometime, I will post the schedule for next week's Classics on Twitch when I figure out what they'll be. I love every minute of this. Oh no, I did decide what they're going to be. I decided this earlier. We're going to do a week of women playwrights that have wonderful plays to run and play and have fun in. So come join, hang out, see, catch those out. We enjoy that. And you can check my Twitter because I post where I'm going to be and all the fun things that I do and all the games that I write and all the fun people that I get to hang out with, like these wonderful people who you should all do fabulous things with because they are all fabulous and wonderful and we love them.
And I'm, we're good?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay. I'm Andrew. I just started my Twitter account at Anderful1. And yes, it's because I'm a wonderful one. No conceit at all. Just it came to mind and I ran with it. And you can find me here on Thursdays playing with these wonderful people and having all of this fun and all of these great times. I will start posting on Twitch for anything that's coming up, but right now it's nice and simple. Nothing new. Next.
Oh wait, is that me?
Yeah.
Oh hi. I am Kelly, aka the Opera Geek, which I will put in the chat there. You can find just about everything I do either via my Twitter or on my webpage. Tomorrow night, I return for my second appearance on the official Wizards of the Coast D&D channel, playing Lila Sadur on Tales from the Mists. I'm sure I won't betray anybody or stab them in the back. And then Tuesday, I'm back here playing Witcher. And then Wednesdays, I stream on my channel, twitch.tv/theoperageek, with cartographer extraordinaire Devin Rue, playing Stardew Valley currently. And I'm apparently playing it incorrectly or badly, but it's okay. because I didn't realize that it was a farming simulator. I thought I got to go kill things in a mine, but apparently it's a farming simulator. And other than that, I will miss all of you next week, as I will not be here next week. It is my birthday, and I'm going to sit in my pajamas and drink and play Final Fantasy VII and have dinner with my husband. So I will miss you all. Please don't kill Mavia while I'm gone.
We will not kill Mavia while you're gone.
Oh. Hi, everybody. I'm Eugenio, sometimes known as DM Jazzy Hands. You can find me on Twitter at DM Jazzy Hands. I am the Dungeon Master and producer for a D&D actual play podcast called The Last Refuge. We release episodes every Wednesday. We've actually got a series of episodes coming up with a lot of fun guests from different podcasts and streams, and some of our patrons we tossed in as well. So fun times coming up. You can find the show on Twitter at DND Last Refuge. Where else can you find me? Obviously here on Thursdays, on Wednesday nights from 7 to 10 Eastern, 4 to 7 Pacific. I'm over on Little Red Dot's channel, twitch.tv/little_red_dot, playing in a game of Overlight that we just started last night. Super great bunch in that crew, and we had a great first session. So that's where I am on Wednesdays, and I think that's it in terms of regularly scheduled programming for me at the moment, which is really plenty. I'm very happy with those things.
My name's Tanya, Cypher everywhere on the internets, and I will put that in the channel. This is the only thing I'm doing right now, at least RPG-wise, because Rivals already wrapped season 6 last Sunday, but good news is if you missed it, we are getting a 7th season. We don't know yet when it will premiere because life and interesting times that we're living in, and also Illinois has extended its safe at home through the end of May. So who knows when we will ever leave the house again, which means if we start before June, then it will continue to be a remote show, unfortunately. And I say that just because of the dynamic is different when you're at the table. But Thursdays, come back. We will have more shenanigans. Hopefully everyone is enjoying it, and my memory will not fail me next week on basic things. But follow me everywhere. The only other things I'm doing is I am one of the writers on Sea of Legends. Kickstarter goes live May 5th. So if you are into RPGs, and a bunch of great people writing on it, Dungeon Commander as well as Banana Chan, and a few other folks are writing on that as well. So like that on Kickstarter, please back it so that we can all get to write fun stuff. And of course, still ongoing is development on 5th season RPG, where Eugenio is also one of our writers. So one day I will finish editing when the world is not burning. So that's all I'm doing.
That would be what I would be doing with my edited manuscript. So just sort of staring at it and looking out the window.
Yeah. Oh, and I stream on here on occasion. I've been mostly streaming Animal Crossing or Final Fantasy. So if you like those things coming out when I stream, follow.
And one day I will convince her to do a multiplayer Civ 6 game with me on stream.
Just ask me. We'll do it.
Oh, but I did ask you. And
okay, then let's schedule it. Then let's schedule it, because you're busier than me for once.
Oh, snap.
And I'm Simon at Wandering DM. Thank you everyone for coming tonight. You can find us here tomorrow night playing Cyberpunk Red at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then on Sunday we have our last charity game for a little while. We are hosting a special game of Castle Falkenstein. If you don't know what Falkenstein is, it's a roleplay heavy game that takes place in a fictitious Earth where basically all the novels from the Victorian era are actually canon, and you have elves, dwarves, and dragons, and all that jazz, and steam-powered machines, and then a bunch of stuff, but it's based around mostly interaction, social interaction, intrigue, and sometimes a little bit of physical action. We've held 2 campaigns of that on the channel already, where we ended up mostly just drinking various alcohol in copious amounts for 2 seasons, which was an absolute blast. And the game will include a lot of well-known people. I should have gotten their names.
That's okay, I've got that for you.
Yes, can you shoot them? I only remember Gail Simone, Larry Dixon, Mercedes Lackey, but I forget Jody Nye, I think, and I'm forgetting
Jody Lynn Nye, and Chris Spivey.
And Chris Spivey, that was the one I was missing.
And
And
I'll be
it's-
there.
Yeah,
Just I'm one of the hosts. I'm just there.
it's also going to have Jay Gray from Talsorian and Deirdre, our own Deirdre Dunlon, as the hosts for the game, which are basically the GMs, while I'm going to be running everything from the shadows. On that note, we're going to go ahead and raid our friend Jim at Other Duck, who's playing The Sprawl, another cyberpunk game with one of our players, Anino. And we will see you again next week. Bye-bye, everyone.